Hi y'all, Chris Bone here at County Kitchen, and today I'm going to attempt to make a gluten-free, bacon-wrapped, cheese-stuffed meatloaf with glaze. It's not your everyday meatloaf, it's not what Grandma used to make, but it's really, really easy. It's just like making a regular meatloaf, except with a couple more steps that anybody can do. And hopefully I will succeed, because to tell you the truth between you and I have never tried it before. I'm going to attempt to do it today. I've done bacon wrapped meatloaf and I've done cheese stuffed meatloaf, but neither of them were gluten free, and I didn't do I did the cheese or the bacon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try all three for the first time today, and you're going to come with me. So let's go check out these ingredients. We have 4 pounds of lean ground beef. I will be making 2 meatloaves today, so that's why I have 4 pounds. I'm doubling all the recipes, everything. So as I have only 1 cup of breading, I actually have 2 because I'm going to be making the 2 meatloaves at the same time. This is what makes it gluten-free. Gluten-free. Sour cream and onion. A lot of people will use French bread or white bread or like crackers, panko breadcrumbs for their binders, for their breading. I don't. When I make a meatloaf, I like to put a little bit of a flavor inside my meat. Meaning, like, what I usually use, my go-to would be this chip called Funyuns. I'm sure everyone's heard of Funyuns. If you haven't, look them up. They're quite fun. I couldn't find any Funyuns lately, so I saw these lying around, and these are veggie chips. They're made with 100% of vegetables, and they're gluten-free. I said, all right, I gotta try it. I'm gonna be the first one to make a gluten-free meatloaf, so let's get to it. My binder, which is these and crunched up. This is onions, scallions, and carrots, which I previously kind of sweated over the heat, kind of sauteed them a little bit to make them a little bit soft. This is the cheese. This is Swiss cheese, and this is American cheese. I will probably using the majority of this cheese. I don't think I'm going to use all of it. Of course, our bacon, 2 eggs, parsley, about 3 tablespoons, mustard, about 1 tablespoon, garlic, about 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 2 to 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, paprika, and some milk for binding. This is for the glaze. We have ketchup, mustard, apple cider vinegar for a little bit of a kick, Worcestershire sauce, and brown sugar. I'll get into this at the end. All right, let me grab a bowl and we can start cooking. I need room somewhere. First, I am going to try something that I have not tried before, and that is, it has to do with laying out my bacon to wrap the meatloaf. Bread pan. Want to come over here and look? You're gonna do. You ain't gotta be an artist. Alright. The reason I'm doing this, I'm making a template for where I want to lay my bacon. Because I'm not just going to lay bacon over the top. I'm actually going to wrap it in You'll see when I get there. All right, let's get these ingredients together. First off will be the eggs. Shell's not included. See? I knew it was going to be stowaway. Heavy cream or milk. I always whip the egg, the wet ingredients first. Worcestershire sauce. And then the dry ingredients, and then the main ingredients. Ketchup. Garlic. Mustard. I wish I had my spatula ready. I think it's in the wash. Parsley just for color. And pepper. I put everything, all the seasonings in the custard milk, the mix, the wet mix, so it's even. Instead of putting the meat in and trying to get the seasoning in, and it just mixes in so much easier, so much more even. All right, my onions and pepper and carrots. That if you don't want to saute them like I did, you can. You have to dice them up really thin, because that way they'll actually cook evenly. If they're not diced up thin and you put them in, you're gonna have like crunchy veggies in your meatloaf, and you don't want that. All right, our veggie-based breadcrumbs. Don't need that anymore. Now I put the breadcrumbs in first, one to kind of soak up some of that wetness, that's the moisture, because that really doesn't look like a lot for 4 pounds of meat, but it is. And what I want to do is, you don't want to over knead this meat with your ingredients, because you're not making meatballs, you're making meatloaf. You want your meatloaf to be a little bit light, not dense, not tough. It's not really tough, but just mix it so it looks relatively even. And that's looking wonderful right now. Like I said, it's not a hard dish to make if you have everything in front of you like I have. It does take a little bit of prep time, like if you want to saute your veggies first and getting all your ingredients together, but for the most part, very simple meal, very simple. All right, that's about it. I don't want to overdo it. That looks really well. That looks really good. Now, what I'm going to do here is, first I'm going to take the gloves off, let that sit there for a second. That's where the bacon comes in. I didn't know how much bacon I was going to need, so I grabbed a lot. Alright. An old chef friend of mine taught me how to do this. Right on the edge. You can get a good closer look. This is thick cut bacon. Usually I would use thin cut, but again, didn't really have a choice of the bacon that I'm using, so I just deal with what I have. I try and make it as even as possible, just touching the ends, because the bacon will shrink while in the oven. One more here. Very good. So I'm going to pretend I can see the templates around this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look, see where it is. It stops right there. So I'll put a piece of bacon right cha. These are very long. Very long. The bacon being so thick will indeed impact on how long I keep it in the oven for. Usually a regular meatloaf, you're only in the oven for maybe an hour to an hour and a half. Not this one, it's going to be quite long, but I'm not going to put it on high heat, so I'm not going to, you know, overcook the bacon and make it really dry. Perfect. All right. So this is about where the template is. That's where your cookie sheet, or not cookie sheet, or that's about where I want my meatloaf to go. Now I am putting cheese in here, so what I'm doing is just making a bed. You can see that crevice. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you take the rest. And you just make a home. Again, this is the first time I've actually tried this, doing the bacon wrapped and cheese stuffed. But for the most part, that looks like what you're going for. Get this cheese out of it. I don't need that piece. That's a lot of bacon. I might have used too much, but no big deal. It cooks. I don't need this piece either. Just 2 pieces of bacon there. All right. Now what I'm going to do, pick it up and gently get it into its home. Right now, since I see so much bacon is overlapping, this is where I can, you know, undo some of this bacon. Just take this, wash your ears, y'all. That is perfect. I hope you saw the old video it did with how to keep your knife sharp. Well, there you go. Very, very sharp knife. I cut the excess bacon off because I could have left them at the bottom, but then it takes so much more, it takes longer for the bottom bacon to cook than with the top. And so now that we have an even layer, it should cook at the same time. Now again, like I said, I am going to make 2, but that's about what you want it to look like. Now, we shall not waste bacon. What I'm doing has nothing to do with the recipe. I just like to eat bacon, so I'm cooking it. I'm not going to throw it away. And I believe there's probably one of you out there in video land totally disagreeing with me. I feel sorry for you. Bacon is a must. I love bacon. If you don't eat bacon, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're missing out. But hey, to each their own. I like bacon. And as you can see, most people that make meatloaf, you make them in here. And when you have meatloaf in here, I've noticed that the top gets really, really well done, and the sides are like, eh. And depending on the heat or the quality of your bread pan, sometimes it burns. Sometimes it burns here, and it's crusty. Just watch. All right, we are ready to bake. My oven is at 350 degrees. Again, this is big cut bacon, so I am not going to just put it in for the hour and a half or hour that's allotted for meatloaf. I want my bacon to be fully cooked. I am going to stick my thermometer in every half hour after the 1 hour period to see where I'm at. After the 1 hour period, while this is cooking, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze, and we're going to put that on after the first hour, and after every half hour that goes on, I'll be putting another layer of glaze on. Both of them. All right, let's cook. It really doesn't matter what size. I'm not taking the cheese. Watch out, very hot. It's right behind you. Okay, the time is about 1:15. I will see you all in about 1 hour when I check this for the first time. I'm going to check the temperature, and then I will teach you how to make the glaze at that time. And we are back. It is now 2:15. It's been in there for an hour. I'm going to take these out and check them. They have been in there for 350 degrees. Okay. That is actually looking good. And this one's looking good. I totally forgot to take off my bacon. That is my fault. I wasted the bacon. I am a heathen. I'm a bad person. Shit's on Fahrenheit. It is. What I'm looking for, you want to put dead center, is you want 165 in the middle. I'm at 160. That is actually good. 2. That works. It's between 160 and 165 is good. Anything under, I might have to leave this one in a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. I will do that. That one though is good. 160, 165 is good. That's at 162. Wonderful. I'll put this in while this is cooking for the next 15 minutes or so. All right, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze. This one is good. The cheese that's coming out, that does look good, but you know, that's cheese that's melting out. I like to leave it on the inside, but like I said, this is my first time trying it this way. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. All right, to make the glaze that's going to go over this, I'm going to stick this back in the oven just to heat the glaze up a little bit. Is you have brown sugar or ketchup, about 5 tablespoons, however much. You can put as much ketchup as you want. We're making like a kind of a poor man's barbecue sauce. I want it thick enough. I don't want it thin. I want it thick enough so I can use my brush and it will stay for the most part on the meatloaf on top. I'm not going to try and brush the entirety of the meatloaf. I'm just trying to get the just the top. Make sure everything's even for the most part. This one first. As much or as little as you like. This is brown sugar based, so it will brown up when it's in the oven. Like, it'll want to caramelize and it looks like it's burning. I don't let it get to the black part. Some people like it, you know, a little bit of burnt sugar. I don't. I like mine just dark enough and thick enough that it doesn't fall off when you cut it. All right. And we're only going to stick them in for about 15 minutes. eaten bacon like this, to tell you the truth, if you crush them up into almost like a powder, they go really, really well in a salad. Don't knock it till you try it, trust me. People are like, this is burnt bacon. You're right, it's burnt bacon, but just powdered burnt bacon, all you need is a little bit. A little bit of the salt and the smokiness of the bacon will go a long way in your salad. The cheese is looking nice and melty. All right, put this back in for about 15 minutes, and we should be ready. When I do take them out, you're gonna let them rest on the cookie sheets, in their dwelling for about 15 minutes. That's gonna let excess juice fall out and lets them firm up on the inside as they cool down a little bit. And we will see you in 15 minutes. All right, it has been about maybe 25 minutes. I did check it about 10 minutes ago just to check the temperatures, and the temperatures are just good. I was just waiting for the glaze to kind of darken up and harden up a little bit, and it's perfect now. If you want to look at that, that is what you want to see. Well, you can see the cheese, but that bubbly, what starts to bubble like that, that is perfect. If you want to put another layer of glaze on, you're more than welcome to. I don't. I like to be able to see the bacon, but you'll be able to taste it. Trust me. Let's get these out. We will let them rest for about 15 minutes on the sheet pan that they came in, and then I'll put them both right here. These actually came out wonderfully. I'm really proud of how these came out. These look fantastic. After 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go ahead and cut them in, cut into them, and show you what it's going to look like on the inside, and we'll go from there. I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Okay, we are back, and these have been resting for about 20 minutes or so. It's all good. It's time to see how these actually turned out. Some of the cheese on here as well. I was expecting all that. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I think I put a lot of cheese in there. But too much cheese has never been said ever by anyone. You never have too much cheese. All right. These away. I thought you wanted to pick at it. The bacon kept, I don't know if you can see inside there. Cheese is still inside. Bacon kept the meat firm enough to keep the majority of the cheese in. So the bacon itself, the bacon was in itself the bread pan. I'm excited. I'm so excited about how this turned out. This looks phenomenal. Look at that. It's just oozing out. Get a close up on that. Look at that inside there. Well, as we always do on the videos, I'm gonna grab a plate and make the assistant try some. Now remember, y'all, this is gluten-free, bacon-wrapped, cheese-stuffed meatloaf.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. And it's, you just saw, it's so easy to make. So easy to make. And of course, I will be commandeering the excess cheese. Ha ha ha. Because I can. Get off. Here, this one's yours.
A little bit of everything in there. Delicious.
Wonderful. The cheese is a good touch, isn't it?
Actually, it really is.
Good spices. All right.
Excellent.
All right. Awesome.
It's got a little bit of tang to it, I guess, from the glaze, right?
And the glaze from the apple cider vinegar and the Worcestershire sauce. See, that's why I didn't want to put too much glaze on, because you can still get the flavor for it.
Very good.
All right.
I'm gonna try this.
I will. Rearrange my tool drawer. It's so hot. Wow. You can really taste the bacon in the meat. The glaze is there. I didn't get any of the cheese though. It's cheese. Oh, by the way, the cheese was Swiss and American. If I didn't say that earlier, you can use whatever cheese you want. You can even use cream cheese. A lot of people will do cream cheese inside there. That's really, really soft. But again, this came out fantastically. I hope you all try it. Wonderful, great meal for more than a family. If you all try it, please be safe. I hope to hear from you all on how it turns out. My name is Chris Bone. I'm here from County Kitchen. Y'all take care. Thanks a lot for watching.